Welcome to a muzzled chat for the second time today. My mind's blown. I'm fried. I'm going to try to keep this short, folks. And hopefully this will be fuel for those already in the know to pay this, just pass this along. Pay it forward. Because the freaking stories I've heard from people I know right here in the state, what they've are experiencing in real life is just unbelievable. It's like we're living in the Looney Tunes, I swear. But the ball is being moved down the field in a lot of good ways. People are standing their ground. They're keeping things based in reality, based in biblical truth. As I put my hand on the daily devotional, there's a Bible over there. But anyway, gosh dang. We must get more organized and do more each and every day. So with that being said, can you tell I'm already fried? Let's jump into a clip here because I could end on just this clip. This man sums it up wonderfully. Very clear. And we could back up some of what he says right here, right now, if we want to continue it. But listen to this. How they control you. Right here.
I think there are two ways in which people are controlled. First of all, frighten people. And secondly, demoralize them. Uneducated, healthy, and...
Let's not be demoralized. Healthy. You know what? I'm just... Sorry. Let's go ahead and restart this. And I'm just going to let it play all the way through before I interrupt it. Apologies.
I think there are two ways in which people are controlled. First of all, frighten people. And secondly, demoralize them. Uneducated, healthy, and confident nation is harder to govern. And I think there's an element in the thinking of some people. We don't want people to be educated, healthy, and confident because they would get out of control. The top 1% of the world's population own 80% of the world's wealth. It's incredible that people put up with it. They're poor, they're demoralized, they're frightened, and therefore they think perhaps the safest thing to do is take orders and hope for the best. I think there are two ways in which
let's play this again. This is crazy powerful.
Frighten people, and secondly, demoralize them. Uneducated, healthy, and confident nation is harder to govern. And I think there's an element in the thinking of some people. We don't want people to be educated, healthy, and confident because they would get out of control.
Healthy, educated, and confident. I mean, you can see why evil has taken out God. From the center stage. Because that would create a very confident people. And educated. Do not be demoralized. Yeah, we're seeing evil ramp up on levels we all personally haven't really experienced. And it's interesting, as I was talking to someone close to me about a situation, I'm like, wow. First of all, it's mind-blowing. A man wearing woman face. It's mind-blowing. Trying to force, like tyrannically force their views, their beliefs upon others. The root of that is evil. You're entitled to whatever, but you cannot enforce that. And it's the same both ways. But trying to enforce like pronouns and a she when he's clearly a he. It's Looney Tunes. that is based in a world, it's fictional. We must stay based in reality and biblical truths. I mean, that goes against basic human biology. It's ridiculous. And I would just, and I'm speaking to the man in the mirror when I say this, I must rewire my own brain to gain more resilience in a situation like that, where I'm not to get worked up. My patience undoubtedly will be tested in a situation like that. But I must rewire to like laugh over the situation. Be genuinely concerned. Have all the patience in the world, but the reality, it's just a tricky one. The world we live in, it's insane. It's literally insane. The root of these things are evil. So, okay. This book right here, it was created. Oh my gosh. 630 page report on the Biden laptop. Insane. See, there's some wins. We got
believe in God Almighty.
Woman here,
They're part
standing
of a
strong.
cult.
What's going on?
These educators put their own names out there.
In a
we
public
have Mr.
school.
Berry, who
It's crazy.
took it upon teaching my children and other children that if they believe in God Almighty, they're part of a cult.
Unbelievable.
It's your fault. You're emotionally abusing our children and mentally abusing them. You're demoralizing them by teaching them communist values. This is still America, ma'am.
Way to stand strong. We must all. But the needles get moved in the right direction in a lot of ways. But in a lot of ways, we're losing ground. Evil's running rampant. This is crazy. Just a report. Like, there's only certain things. We know. Why even play this clip? Watch this clip. Why the media isn't reporting the identity of this DC cop shooter. Because he doesn't fit the narrative. The skin pigmentation and all that racial jazz. We got to be able to see through everything. Right here. All these individuals in Chicago waving all these firearms in the air. Chicago had 700 murders, 3,500 gang-related criminal incidences last year. The streets of Chicago are far more dangerous than the streets of Ukraine. Yet the judge of Chicago is obsessed with rigging an election against a man who said, "March peacefully." Should raise an eyebrow. All right, let's check out Bill Gates' new hustle. Check this out.
The new thing, he's off the COVID vaccine. He already cashed in his stock for the COVID vaccine. He made $500 million.
$500 million. Well, we're all suffering. Yeah, this was the largest distribution of wealth. There were so many political figures and sports figures and Hollywood figures, all sorts of individuals that sold out on that bioweapon jab push.
Off his COVID stock for the vaccine. While you got locked down and weren't allowed to go to work and make money, he bought $55 million worth of stock that went 10 times in value.
Wow.
And now watch the next thing he says, because he just cashed in that stock. So the new thing is nasal COVID thing, because it blocks the infection. But watch this.
We also need to fix the three problems with vaccines. The current vaccines are not infection blocking. They're not broad, so when new variants come up, you lose protection. And they have very short duration.
Gaslighting.
So now he's shitting on the vaccine, and now he's pushing this new thing. Because I was like, whoa, he cashed out his stock on the vaccine, and now he's invested in this new thing. Is he invested in this new thing? I don't know. Let's look. This is the Economic Times industry Gates Foundation to fund 2 COS for vaccine research. 2 companies, is that what that is? For vaccine research. New Delhi, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation will fund 2 Indian firms, Serum Institute of India and Bharat Biotech. Wait a minute.
Jeez.
That's the people doing this.
Right. Wow.
The new thing.
So it's taking different forms now. Biowarfare. Are we surprised? Food, products, sprays, aerosols, sky, water. I mean, everything. They wanted to mandate this thing, and the jury is out. They cannot stop the flood of damage it's caused. This has been a huge blessing, folks. For us to wake up and see, because it's all connected, it's all corrupt, and it's up to us. We just going to allow that? We going to sit back and take it? It's all over the world. This guy uncovers the corruption in Canada.
Just received these documents that Trudeau has been covering up for years. Documents related to a massive security breach at the Trudeau government's most sensitive laboratory, where the most dangerous viruses and pathogens are studied and handled. We have learned that the Trudeau government's head of pathogens was collaborating with members of Beijing's People's Liberation Army, who are responsible for bioweapons and bioterrorism. We know now that a People's Liberation Army official was able to gain personal access, walk in the door, look at computers, and has access to all of our most important virological secrets. If you think any of this is hyperbole, read the report yourself.
Are we starting to connect the dots? Can we see? Can you start to see how important this is? We got to do our part. We need to be excited. It's through bringing God into that you will gain the resilience necessary and the calm and the peace. And you literally can act out of grace in huge ways beyond what we naturally, humanly would be able to do. Yeah, this clip here is repulsive. It's a gentleman, can't even hold a sign outside of his own city hall, which states, "God bless homeless vets," without being threatened by police. Yeah, we no longer live in a free country at all. And the clips froze.
We just received...
Uh-oh. Is it getting pulled down? I don't even know. Refresh the whole page. Apologize. Just hear the computer revving up. It's putting in a workout on behalf of all of us. There's clearly an issue.
So what are we doing?
God bless the homeless veterans.
I heard you the first time. Why don't you answer my question? What are you doing?
God bless the homeless veterans.
You can't solicit here on the front on the property.
God bless the homeless veterans.
You can't be here.
Why?
Because I said.
Just because you said?
Yeah, again. What are you doing?
Todd.
I can read.
Listen to me.
You're fixing to piss me off.
I don't give a damn if I piss you off or not.
Really?
God bless
I can read.
the homeless veterans. Now, do you understand what I'm doing?
Oh, you want to play that game, really?
This is freedom of speech and freedom of religion.
I don't care. You're trespassing.
You don't care if I'm engaged in a constitutionally protected activity. You're a military.
Then go get your freaking lawyer and sue the city if you think that's a violation.
Is it illegal?
Because I know what my job is. I know what the Constitution says. I know what the God-given right is.
You told me to leave. I'm trying to leave, but you got my ID.
Yeah, I got your ID.
You told me I was trespass. I'm leaving.
Yes.
This is freedom of speech in a traditional public forum at the steps of City Hall. He's violating my civil rights. I don't think he can do that.
He can't. I mean, he just did. But we could support people, men like that, standing up to gain our freedoms back. Like, this is just insane. It's tyrannical. It's tyranny. More tyranny. Russell Brand here talks on about the Ukraine passing a bill to freeze citizen bank accounts. It's insane.
The Ukrainian parliament has passed the first reading of a bill to tighten mobilization rules and force people to war. If approved, these rules will allow the government to freeze bank accounts and people's assets when caught dodging the draft. People that refuse to be conscripted into the army in Ukraine, they're freezing their bank accounts. Where have we seen that idea before? Canada.
Around the world, we are seeing a rising movements of either authoritarian populism or skepticism about...
Yeah, but what, like evoking the Emergency Act because there's a protest against COVID mandates, that kind of authoritarianism. The freezing of bank accounts of protesters.
Standing for democracy against authoritarianism, against illegal invasions of another country's sovereignty.
Oh, don't you dare invade me on my sovereignty.
These are principles that are under discussion in every country around the world.
There's some other discussions going on, Trudeau. Let me tell you what they are. The idea that neoliberal fascistic politicians who freeze bank accounts kill people because they're poor, which seems like population control to me, are presenting themselves as somehow gracious carriers of morality and ethics, when it seems to me that this is the very kind of tyranny we should most fear.
Exactly.
On Rumble.
Exactly. Well said. This is pretty nuts right here, too. I mean, we got a clean house on all fronts.
Right? You're the director of the Bureau of Prisons, is that right?
That's correct, sir.
You used to run the correction system in Oregon, right?
That's correct.
Yeah. Oregon legalized drugs, is that right?
That's correct.
Oregon's about to reverse that, is that correct?
Senator, I'm not familiar with the policy proposed to reverse that.
You don't know anything about it?
Correct, sir.
Okay, wow. You're in charge of implementing the First Step Act, Director?
That's correct.
How many criminals have you released under the First Step Act? You don't know off the top of your head?
Sorry, Senator, but I will check into that and get back to you.
You don't know?
That's correct, Senator.
Wow. Of the 30,000 criminals you let free, how many of them have come back? Have committed a crime again, hurt somebody else?
So that number is one that we're still looking at.
You don't have any idea?
No, Senator.
You don't have anybody at the Bureau that can count?
I do not have that number in front of me.
So let me get this straight. The First Step Act was passed in 2018. This is 2024. Am I right so far?
That's correct.
That's 6 years. And in 6 years, you've let 30,000 criminals go, right?
That's correct.
And you don't have the slightest idea how many of them committed another crime and came back?
I don't have that number in front of me.
And you run the Bureau of Prisons?
That's correct.
And how many employees do you have?
About 40,000 employees.
Oh, my God.
40,000 employees.
Oh, my God. Our director here doesn't know how many have committed another crime and come back? I just find it takes my breath away. With 40,000 people. How many of your 40,000 people actually coming to work or are still working from home, right?
The supermajority of our employees come to work every day because we're running 24/7.
What percentage are coming to work every day?
The percentage is quite high. I don't have the exact.
You don't know? Well, maybe there's a problem. This is why people hate government.
Distrust government, 100%. It's happening on every single stage they have. I mean, this also right here feeds right into it. The New World Order Great Reset.
I'm going to tell it to you straight. I'm going to tell you the truth. Our darkest days are ahead of us, not behind us.
Wow. Joe Biden might have actually articulated a freaking sentence. This seems to be true. He's just projecting it as though they're the solutions when they're the root of all of our issues. And he's just a freaking puppet. This is Obama's third term. If you guys haven't put that together yet.
And now's the time when things are shifting. There's going to be a new world order out there. Let's clap for that, you stupid bastard.
This will be the time because you really need world order, financial world order.
This alternative vision argues that ordinary men and women are too small-minded to govern their own affairs.
Wow.
That order and Progress can only
too
come when
small-minded.
individuals surrender their rights to an all-powerful sovereign.
What?
We are here to an all-powerful sovereign. Surrender their rights to an only come when individuals surrender their rights to an all-powerful.
Really? Is that the solution?
Progress can only come when individuals surrender their rights to an all-powerful sovereign. We are here to
Nothing conspiratorial about these statements and everything that's going on. They say it themselves.
Develops a great narrative, a story for the future. But in order
The first one was George Soros. Now we got Klaus Schwab.
to shape the future, you have
New
first
World
to
Order.
imagine the future. You have to design the future. And then you have to execute.
Unbelievable. Are we seeing it? This testimony from this nurse, this veteran, unbelievable. You still don't believe? Oh no, it was just they did what they could in this epidemic. I don't even know what else to call it than plandemic, scamdemic. My gosh, listen to this testimony. Holy smokes.
Albert Jennings. Aaron has been seated additional time from James Rosenberger. James, are you here? She will have a total of 6 minutes.
Good morning, commissioners. Thank you guys so much for having me here and also listening to all of us. It's very unheard of these days. My name is Erin Olszewski, and I'm here in support of the Collier Health Freedom Bill of Rights Ordinance and the Health Freedom Resolution. A little bit about my background and why it's important that you understand how imperative it is that what I'm about to share with you is in your decision today. First, I'm a mom. I have 3 boys. I'm here to protect them, but I'm also here to protect and defend your children and grandchildren as well. I'm a registered nurse. I'm here to stand up for my patients and honor those who have died unnecessarily. I'm an author of a book that is no longer allowed on bookshelves, which I'm going to give each of you a copy to read because of censorship. They won't even put it on bookshelves so people won't find out what's going on. And also, I'm an Army combat veteran. I served over a year in Iraq, 2003 to 2004. Commissioner Castro, thank you for your service, and Commissioner Cowell, thank you for your service as well. My oath never expires, not only to my country, but also to my patients. So at the height of the pandemic, I actually traveled from Florida in the Tampa Bay area to New York to work in the COVID ICU. I actually was placed at the epicenter of the epicenter, which is Elmhurst Hospital in Queens, New York. I just want to make this very clear that this was not just solely happening in New York, but all around our great nation, including Florida, and more specifically right here in your county. I know this because upon my return after getting kicked out of New York for trying to advocate for my patients, I began advocating for patients all around Florida. The same situation in every single hospital. What I witnessed in New York can only just be described as a turnkey style assembly line to a body bag. There's no liability. There's gag orders on all of our staff, including myself. We were threatened to be sent home if we said anything. They banned family members, which are the patient's advocates, which should never happen ever again. They banned...
You still think with gag orders put into place, the orders were coming down on behalf of we the people? No one was dying in the streets. They were dying in hospitals under murderous protocols.
Treatments. I always say that politicians make lousy doctors. A politician or government should never get in between the doctor-patient relationship ever again.
Right.
If they wanted to do that, they can go to medical school or become a nurse. There was financial incentives put on admissions of patients, so $13,000 to admit patients. Why not? We were actually ordered down for sending any of the patients to the comfort ship, which was wide open. The Javits Center was empty. The Good Samaritan tents were empty. They admitted them for $13,000 a person. The protocols consisted of sedation, paralyzing agents, and then essentially a vent. Some of the patients' rooms that I went into, there was feces dried up their backs for 2-3 weeks. They had bed sores where you could see their bones. They were coding full code patients. Being a full code means that you want all resuscitation done and all measures done. CPR, you want to be saved. They were not doing that. And they were not doing it behind locked hospital doors. And nobody knew except for the people that were in there.
Don't take my word for it. They were incentivized, paid out, some in the tunes of $300,000+ per each COVID death. They check enough of those boxes. I've even heard the number in excess of that amount. They were ordered essentially, to murder our loved ones, our family members. This is pre-even, and, the rollout of the murderer's jab. What's it gonna take to get everyone to like set things down and really freaking engage? Like what other information do you need? We're trying to address things from enough angles to evoke like organization and a momentum to protect ourselves and our children, and it has been a great blessing because this really does pull back the curtain and allow us to really see the big picture.
They ended up in a body bag. Eventually we just had garbage bags, and then they were tossed into the freezer trucks. Every single one of my patients, outside of one patient, died, and I had to stack their bodies in these freezer trucks, but they were not dying of COVID. And on top of that, they ended up banning autopsy.
You hear that? They were not dying of COVID. On top of that, they ended up banning autopsies. Banning.
So there was a $39,000 price tag for the ventilators and sometimes $10,000 for each death. It's absolutely disgusting. I tried to say something and I was unable to. I was threatened with being sent home, so I decided that I was going to go undercover. Got some spy glasses, got some audio gear, and I started recording for the next 4 weeks. I'd like to share a little clip, if I could, because I think that is very important that you actually hear with your own ears what is actually, what happened, what continues to happen to this very day in the hospital.
What continues?
This is a seasoned medical doctor working at the New York City hospital. He was on a travel assignment. He was making approximately $75,000 a week. Nurses were getting $10,000 a week, so this was hush money, in my opinion. He ended up calling all the nurses together after he was essentially busted for not coding a full-coded patient, and actually wrote her death certificate before she even died, and then called the family and lied to them.
Wow.
But I'd like to just have this on record because I think it's very important that the public know that this happened and this was going on.
If there was family in the room, if the ethics committees was in there, and Jago was standing in the room, you guys wouldn't do what you guys just did. Like, you guys would have been way more proactive. Yeah. Absolutely. And that's what I have a problem with.
Wow.
Because if you, in good conscience, could say, well, we would have done the same thing regardless of who was watching us right now, then I'd be like, all right, fine. But I don't feel like that's the case.
Let me ask you a question. And this is whatever your opinion is. What do you think the right thing to do for her is in that setting? Let me just have it.
I think the right thing to do for her is what she wants. During that time when she was crashing, she was full of cold. You guys were already having conversations with the nurse to not hold this patient.
Wow.
And when I was full of cold, you were saying, no, don't call cold. Right. But at that time, she was full of cold. Yep. Later on, she became DNR, I think, around 145. Yep. But when she was crashing, it was 115, 120. Yep. So if you don't want to code a patient, you need to aggressively contact the family to make it a DNR before this happened.
Totally agree.
I'm going to cut it short. I know that my time is short, but that's clearly murder. Yeah.
Murder.
I'm just going to end with this. The last thing standing between a patient and body bag is a good nurse. If a good nurse isn't allowed... Sorry, this is tough. Sorry. If a good nurse isn't allowed to do her job... Sorry. Sorry. Then it's an automatic death sentence for our patients. And we're forced to watch them die unnecessarily. And now we have to live with that reality forever in our hearts and our souls. And you know, a lot of us have been holding the line for a really long time. And this dam is about to break, and we are calling for reinforcements. We need you guys to support us to make sure that this never ever happens again, because it could be you, it could be your family members next time.
Guys, she's not just speaking to the people in that room. She's speaking to you now. Me. All of us. She's one of the good ones. People like her have been threatened, silenced, all sorts of threats. Her job, her income, her education, her service, her family.
And any person that's in opposition of this resolution in the ordinance is likely someone that you don't want taking care of you. Yeah. Or they have something to hide. So in this, united we stand against those we trusted. I hope that you guys will really dig deep in your souls and your hearts and understand that this is good for humanity, not only Floridians, but all over the world. So God bless you, and thank you for listening to me.
God bless you, lady. You're a warrior. It's hard to believe. Are they going to get away with this? Are we going to allow that? It's not even about really holding everyone accountable. It's if we don't seize this particular moment in time and opportunity and what took place, it's destined to happen again. It's destined to be far worse. I mean, you're seeing it from all these different angles. Like, it's a hierarchy. It's a two-tiered system. This right here. This proves it.
Let me tell you something, Brian. You know what this is? Of course you don't. But this is very, very big. You know what this is? This is the special counsel, her report. Her on Joe Biden. Exhibit after exhibit after exhibit of Joe Biden's felonies.
Right.
Felonies under the Espionage Act when he was vice president, when he was a private citizen, and when he was a senator. So let me tell these knuckleheads something. If Donald Trump loses this post-presidential immunity case, you know what the next administration can do, including his, take the cover off this report, put an indictment cover on it, and indict Joe Biden, because they're not required to adhere to what Mr. Hur or what Mr. Garland have to say. The evidence against Joe Biden in the Espionage Act, there's scores of examples of his committing felonies. And the only reason they didn't bring the case, they said, is because he's an imbecile. That was the bottom line. But there's enough probable cause in this document to bring hundreds of charges against Joe Biden, depending on the statute of limitations. So they better hope that Donald Trump wins, these knuckleheads on these other networks. Because if he doesn't, it's Joe Biden's day in court. That's number one. Number two, the Supreme Court justices ought not be pressured like this, and they need to understand something. This rogue prosecutor, Jack Smith, who's unconstitutionally appointed in violation of the appointments clause of the Constitution, this guy, he didn't charge Trump with insurrection. He didn't charge Trump with sedition, conspiracy, sedition, violence, none of it. He went digging, and he finds the 1871 Klan Act. He finds the Enron Act on obstruction, which was abused against many of the J6ers. He uses a federal contractor statute. Those are the statutes he uses, and he's telling the court, I should be able to indict Donald Trump for his official actions as president of the United States, not for any real crime. But I got to go back to the post-Civil War Klan Act. I got to go to the Enron Act. I've got to go to the Federal Contractors Act because I want to put him in prison with an Obama-appointed judge, with a jury that's going to be appointed from a population that supports Biden and hates Trump.
Digging, going after their political opponents. It's insanely alarming. Gosh, even Joe Rogan, known as agnostic, kind of speaks on a spiritual awakening. Let's play that.
But I think as time rolls on, people are going to understand the need to have some sort of divine structure to things, some sort of belief in the sanctity of love and of truth. And a lot of that comes from religion. A lot of people's moral compass and the guidelines that they've used to follow to live a just and righteous life has come from religion. And unfortunately, a lot of very intelligent people, they dismiss all the positive aspects of religion because they think that the stories are mere superstitious fairy tales, that, you know, they have no place in this modern world, and, you know, we're inherently good and your ethic.
No, because they're legitimately worshiping the other guy for mortal gain.
Are based on your own moral compass, and we all have one, and that's not necessarily true. We need Jesus. I think for real. Like, if he came back now, it'd be great. Like, Jesus, if you're thinking about coming back right now, now's a good time. Pretty soon. Yeah, now's a good time.
Would you genuinely be ready for that? Your spiritual state, your soul, your alignment. I mean, right here. Here's a gentleman getting perp walk for doing investigative journalism. Getting taken into FBI custody for his January 6th reporting. Am I next? Do I have your guys' support? Like, this is insanely tyrannical. They're overextending their hand. It's just so clear. So there's all these different angles. I mean, this guy, what he talks on here regarding the note really does explain the backbone.
Aside from 1963, President John F. Kennedy, up here, oh wait, it doesn't say Federal Reserve note, it says United States note. That means the U.S. government, which every government has the ability to do. Canada used to do it. Germany did it. A whole bunch of other places did it. And guess what? They got really good results. You know what they did? They managed to go ahead and keep any debt at a very reasonable and payable level. Now, this United States note, that's not at interest. It's not a private bank. And JFK was dead within 6 months of issuing this $5 note. We could solve the problems that we face right now I have said over and over, like a broken record, the head of the snake is the financial system.
Yeah.
The reason why they hate people like Gaddafi, Saddam Hussein, John F. Kennedy, and the last one, a man named Adolf Hitler. He outlawed usury. Jesus didn't like usury either. Now, the history tells us that we shouldn't entertain anything possibly good about this man. But I'll tell you what I know, I like, and I respect. He ended the usury that now translates to, I don't know what it is here in the Netherlands. In the UK, I think it's like 6-7 trillion pounds. In America, we've just hit 34 trillion. First off, even if we ventured to pay back the debt, there isn't enough money in circulation to even pay it back. So who are we in debt to? They want to say it's China. They want to say it's this. They want to say everyone.
Yep.
But the Federal Reserve Bank. And who owns that?
Right.
It's a private bank. Am I anti-Semitic for pointing out that the Rothschilds-controlled Federal Reserve Bank is indebted not only... Am I anti-Semitic for pointing out that the Rothschilds-controlled Federal Reserve Bank is indebted not only America, the Bank of England? Who owns that? The Rothschilds have owned that since the 17th.
Wow. That exposes so much. More on the Hunter Biden. Well, here's a gal. Wow, this is pretty powerful. Let's play this.
12 signatures, which means each individual person is personally liable for over $21 million just from this paperwork. And guess what? We, the people, as Body Sovereign, we're really good at gathering signatures. So I'm sure we can go gather another 30,000 if they'd like. Once they go into default and they don't respond to our opportunity to cure, which is to resign within minutes, they need to resign within 3 days. If they don't resign within 3 days, they will be personally served with a writ of quo warranto and an opportunity, again, to rebut any one of our claims, which I'm making right now. None of them have signed an oath of office. None of them are bonded to We the People. All of them are foreign invaders acting as government. They are not our government. Therefore, we will be serving them a writ of quo warranto with a waiver of tort, and if they still do not rebut, we'll be notifying the military, and they can be hauled off, to a military tribunal, and I think we all know the penalty for treason. Thank you. Yes.
Well, it may all resort to even civil tribunals, honestly. Is there a military too infiltrated at this point? I don't know. But not enough clearly is being done across the board. So that was kind of a noisy clip. But this video footage of Miss Michelle Klan's discussion in Arizona, this is just the other day, immediately after the Maricopa County Board of Supervisors vacated their position in response to Mrs. Klan's speech and personal service of notice of liability for damages caused to We the People by their actions. I'm going to open this up even more because there's more depth. I'm here today to put you on public notice and to inform you that you are not our elected officials. None of you have ever signed an oath of office to the Republic of Arizona. Instead, you have signed an oath of office, to a foreign corporation, which is an act of insurrection. You do not have proper bond-carrying surety for your actions to We the People. Due to voter fraud, you have never been lawfully voted in. Acting with assumed authority over the people is a direct act of treason. Today, we, the Body Sovereign, are presenting each of you a notice of liability and opportunity to cure. The fine is $1.75 million per claim, and there are 12 signatures, which means you are each personally liable for $21 million. So it's crazy. It encompasses even more, which is amazing. And this is a huge win, and we need to do this across the board. If you do not resign in 3 days, you will be presented with a writ quo and a waiver of tort. I don't even quite get the verbiage much. If you fail to rebuke these truths and remain in office, we will notify the United States military, and your acts of treason shall serve as grounds for immediate military tribunal. Anyway, why am I trying to read the part I can't even necessarily read? But what she presented was over 5,000 page document, also outlining the dangers of the COVID-19 vaccines, its mandates, and other high crimes against humanity, covering up crimes against humanity. Yeah, it's crazy. It's also listing and outlining the 1947 Nuremberg Code, the 1949 Geneva Convention, and the 1958 Genocide Convention. Whew, it's heavy stuff. But can we see all we're up against? Is quite a bit. But there's so much opportunity all around in action we could be taking and supporting people all around. It's quite beautiful. Oh my gosh, do we even dive into this? A little disclaimer, this next clip, a bit vulgar, but my gosh, dude, it drives me nuts. Like, the world we live in.
My pronouns aren't preferred, they are mandatory.
Okay, how the fuck am I supposed to know when I'm only meeting someone on the go, and I'm not allowed to guess by how they look or how they dress or by what they got that's going on below? See, on this topic I'm a little gray. When meeting someone new, what do I say? 'Cause if I have to start our talk asking if you have a cock, then you're not my kind of person anyway. Just one more little thing before I'm gone. Respect is earned, it's not demanded in a song. If you want to be a she or a they or a z, good for you, but you can't make me play along.
100%.
My pronouns aren't preferred, they are mandatory.
To the people of that circus, that couldn't be further from the truth. It is not mandatory, and you can call it that all you want. I, as well as you, sir, will not play along. It's important that we stay based in reality. It is not more loving to show up on behalf of someone's delusional question. At this point, yeah, mental disorders. But my heart goes out to those individuals, because the reality of it is, if we really dissected it and get to the bottom of it, so many of what could be classified mental disorder, I can see how so many people have been victims of torture tactics, manipulation, and gaslighting. But it's more than that. Like the clear health issues, the food, the toxins, the vaccines. There were so many reports of doctors treating patients that lived in same-sex marriages and things of that nature that simply went on anti-parasiticals at the point they were sick, and they call it magically, but they with a simple introduction of an anti-parasitical started gaining attraction for the opposite sex as nature intended. So clearly there's some other things at play that haven't been identified accurately we're getting there. That there's other things ailing these individuals, and it's not natural, and they're not in a healthy place. So it's not like I'm just trying to push anything mental. This song, oh my gosh, should we end with this song? Wow. This isn't necessarily my style of song choice or what have you, but wow, I just want to support kind of like that Oliver Anthony with that song he came out with. We should have played that one, but this is pretty good because it's right on cue with this topic.
Inflation in genders. At one point, biologists were allowed
I don't know if you guys have heard this yet.
Now there's agender, bigender, two-spirit, hydra, we could go on forever.
It's a pretty catchy tune.
They, them, his, hers. See, sim, wait, what are these words? You are confused, why you talking in thirds? You can only be one, it's not what you prefer. You're
right.
Either one of the two. Whatever's between your two legs is the proof.
Right.
Whoever gave you the option to choose, man, just sit down and listen, I'm breaking the news. It's only two genders, your parents are jacking you up. They might as well put some crack in your cup. You came out innocent, now you're corrupt. Now you stand on the bridge and you just want to jump. Got these pink-haired devils teaching the kids in the school they are vessels. Used by the enemy, he's just a rebel. Let's turn up the kettle. When God gets a hold of him, he won't be gentle. How dare you misgender me? My pronouns are them and theirs. Get it right.
Oh my gosh.
Y'all brains in a blender. If you state the obvious, you will be censored. God made your body and you're just the renter. He's the inventor and he only made two genders. Two genders. He only made two genders. Only two. Look, there's only two genders. I love the science and it says there's only two genders. Google just told me there's 70 genders. I need the evidence. Where's the defenders? Maybe you're brain dead. You lost your receptors. They banned me cause I'm a repeating offender. These are the stakes in their race. I am not giving 1 inch to the gaze. It's funny, the sin that God called is detestable. Now when they claim it, they get all the praise. Evil. We only walk in the blue and the pink. I think that you need to get a new shrink. Now you're denying the science. You think I want answers right now, but you're trying to think. You were assigned one at birth. There's only two genders, man, look at the birds. Men should be straight and women have curves. You just shaking your fist up at God, you got nerve. How dare these people use common sense? Everybody knows there's more than two genders. Transphobic! Y'all brains in a blender. If you state the obvious, you will be censored. God made your body and you're just the renter. He's the inventor and he only made two genders.
Truth.
Two genders. He only made two genders. Only two. Look, there's only two genders. I love the science and it says there's only two genders.
Trying to like this video like right now. Well done, sir. Why do I even try taking whatever? No, it's important we all take our stance and speak truth 100%. My gosh. He's clearly gifted, talented, and brave. And I commend that. And very well said. All right. I was really struggling yesterday. Not that I'm much better today, but I really struggled to articulate this very touchy topic. This is extremely a hot topic and so polarized. So many people won't even go near it. But enough is enough. Look around with the pride parades and the nudity, and it's disgusting. It's sinful, it's evil, and it's getting main staged, and it is, with all the social media apps supporting it and everything, it's becoming extremely toxic to our civilization, our children, pulling people away from God, living out more in a perversion, out of perversion than good morals, values. And it's so much of it isn't based in reality. It's entirely fictional. So it's a topic I look forward to diving more in depth here in the future. But it just really saddens my heart, even boils my blood to an extent. And that's sinful, obviously, like, but the abuse, the sheer abuse my close friend dealt with at her place of work yesterday due to this biological male coming in and demanding like incorrect pronouns. And she simply was just like, okay, we're not going there. What's your name? This man wouldn't even give his name because he was trying to mandate and force his views on this, on my close friend. And I want to applaud her. She knows who she is, for standing her ground, doing her best not to be confrontational, professional, and mindful of all of her other patients and clients and employees. Because we're not mandating our beliefs on others. So to come in, I mean, it's just insanity to me. It's insane that a biological man, I mean, let's just kind of step back and look at this like from a, I don't know, big picture view, right? Biological man in there, a grown adult demanding, trying to dictate. And I don't care what it is, your beliefs on another person. The point, they just politely don't want to engage in that. You lose it. This individual loses it. This man loses it. Starts calling all the names in the book, the 4-letter words, and bigot, white supremacist. Like, it's evil. It's just like, hang on, pump the brakes here. Like, I mean, I could see why people wouldn't want to just, okay, and just play along. But in playing along, we're essentially allowing this to perpetuate and continue and magnify. And it is, I mean, if it's stuck only with the adults being impacted, that'd be one thing. But the fact that we're allowing it to bleed over into all these public spaces and impact our children and others, it's just insane. But these women in this situation were legitimately threatened because they had a biological male losing it, all due to them not following along with this individual's dictatorship. And I just can't believe the state the world is in right now. This is unacceptable behavior. It shouldn't be. I mean, this is a public setting in a professional business. Like, the more we could keep our cool in those scenarios and then just record, we should be able to shift things to where people feel less and less comfortable bringing their delusional beliefs into the public spaces and negatively impacting us. The more we allow and affirm like fictional beliefs, the more this is going to integrate, and it will never end. It's not a live and let live. It's a live and let us rule, because it's only a one-way street. You cannot instill your beliefs on other folks. That's like the very essence of like freedom is not that. You can't dictate those type of things. And when it comes to this, like, I mean, are you kidding me? A man trying to go, whether he's wearing woman face or wants to identify with like just these fabricated pronouns and what they feel they are that moment in time, that day. And I mean, the list is insane. I don't even, what, did I hear it's like 800 pronouns now? Like, I don't even know. It's insane. Cause it's like, okay, dude, you think you're a fish. I'm not playing that game. Ever. It's just, it blows my mind. And I believe not enough people are standing strong. And I just wanted to help kind of connect the dots that if we continue to allow this, it's not just going to continue to perpetuate, and it's going to get worse. We got to stand for truth. Obviously, if we could give these individuals like tons of grace, record these encounters, and just like, look at how you're reacting. You're an adult. I just don't. You're trying to dictate some things upon me. I'm not. We live in a free country. I'm not gonna do that. You need to settle down. And just let them dig their own hole, essentially. But unfortunately, people are afraid now of losing their, I don't know, social medias over things like this, or getting fired, or getting doxxed, or lawsuits. I mean, this is crazy. When you're based in truth, you have nothing to fear. You're not to fear these individuals. And any words they could throw at you, they're just words. That's our opportunity not to let it get under our skin. And the more we're based in faith and biblical truths and real truths, like, it's just going to roll off our backs. We could extend more and more grace and love for these individuals and not play into this very toxic ideology. It's very easy. It's easier said than done. I get it's an extremely challenging thing, especially when people are verbally attacking you. But it boils my blood that a man in kind of today's world, this man based on this ideology kind of is getting pedestaled, and the others would more so are if you stand your ground, or potentially under the threat. Like no, we need to start championing and supporting truth. I'm still struggling really to get the points across, but it obviously becomes a different scenario at the point they actually start throwing things or pull out a weapon of sorts or something. Then it's important, obviously, that we're trained up and prepared, and then even then we can handle the situation accordingly without our like freaking out and having like this huge negative impact. I do believe the root of this, I mean, there's a lot of things. These individuals, undoubtedly, they've had a rough childhood, probably sexual. There's a statistic that so many of them have like sexual abuse. So they're victims, a lot of them themselves. And now in their adulthood, they're just living out this like hypersexualization and perversion due to a lot of like childhood traumas. And I'm no freaking expert, like, but I can see as to how so many things like feed into this. But a lot of it too is of the spiritual nature, and they've allowed, because they're not, the majority of them don't believe in Christ and the Bible, and they've more so opened the doors to the demonic, and to kind of be able to acknowledge and recognize literally that there's a spirit, an evil spirit present I even want to do better on identifying that and seeing that. And, it'd be up to you. But it says in the Bible, like, we can cast out like evil spirits. They cannot stay present, like, in the name of Jesus Christ. So, if you've put it out there, obviously you'd know in that type of situation, you very well could provoke an individual. But at minimally to have it in our heart and subconscious and say it, like, quietly, would help give us a level of protection and might even defuse a situation. A lot more to dive in on here. I just want people to, like, be more prepared and more based in their truth and strong in their stance to stop this. And if not for you, for our children. We've let it go on way too long, and it's getting out of control. So my hat's off to everyone that is able to engage in a very positive, enlightening way, but yet not bend or give up ground on the reality of the situation here. It's crazy. It's crazy. Clearly, we're dealing with a bunch of people that are extremely wounded and not well. Okay. Well, more on this. I don't know where I'm going to insert this, if it even brought much more clarity, but it is a tricky one. I look forward to better days on my end where I can actually really dive in more and go over, a lot of the information and statistics, because so much of this actually plays into being a leading cause among our little younglings, attributing to the suicide. So, gosh dang, there's a lot to uncover. If anyone, or anyone that's struggling, like, with these type of things, it's like prayer goes a long way, and seeking guidance. But what's crazy, at the end of the day, you can't help someone really that doesn't want to help themselves. But prayer could soften that and open someone's heart. Anyway, I'm just rambling. I love you guys. All right, last insert clip, I swear, to this episode. It's what I get for saying in the beginning, oh, I'm going to keep this short, or try to keep this short. There's just so much overwhelming information. But I just came across this clip and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to insert it. We must protect our children. This is no joke. Check out this clip for yourself.
Can say to a trans-identified child.
It didn't start at the beginning. Protect our kids.
This is all about money and sex. In California right now, we passed a bill called AB 665. This allows 12-year-olds to go to a residential facility if they don't want to live at their family's home anymore. A school counselor can say to a trans-identified child, do you feel safe at home? And if you don't, you can go to this other place. California has unicorn homes. These are homes that will house kids who are 14 and older because they're trans-identified. They're looking at passing a bill to fund these homes on our tax dollars.
It's like a business. I guess the incentive for these people is they can make money off the government stealing people's children.
Right.
You are so spot on. Is this a civil rights movement? No. Each one of these trans-identified children is worth $1 million to the medical community. You take the child out of the house, who houses them? So they're making money off of the child. Remember, these residential facilities in California are unlocked. So that means sex traffickers, this movement is huge. This is all about money and sex.
Can you see the importance of us standing our ground? Every opportunity we get across the board, it's crucial. We've given up too much ground, and it dates all the way back to even allowing gay marriage. That was just the beginning of this downward spiral of toxicity and evil and devaluing the family unit. They're legally allowed to steal children. Not in all states. But they're trying to, like, even if it isn't here, like in Arizona or our state, wherever you are, they're trying. We need to even fight California's battle and show up and put an end to this. This is unacceptable. Guys, support this. Let this. It's not the most bombshell episode, I'll admit, right? But we got to get this information out. Let's all do what we can. Look forward to doing more. I like March 1st right here. Let's just end with this. But whoa, we're getting all crazy with the sounds today. I apologize. I won't even read the whole thing. Just this beginning portion is enough. When something in your life or thoughts make you anxious, come to me, which I'm referencing, because once again, this is reading for the reader. Come to Christ. Come to Jesus. Come to God. And talk about it. Bring Him your prayer and petition with thanksgiving, saying, thank you, Jesus, for this opportunity to trust you more. Though the lessons of trust that I send to you come wrapped with difficulties, the benefits far outweigh the costs. That is so true. What do we have to fear? What are we waiting for? Look at the angles. Look at what Satan and evil, how effective he's been in creating all this division, crazy wokeness and movements, and just dividing us. So we're caught up in all the smoke and the mirrors and the fluff, not effectively identifying evil running rampant and infiltrating everything, and the funders and the organizers and the orchestrators and devil's minions essentially ruling the masses when that isn't the majority of us. All we got to do is stand our ground, say no, not anymore, not today, Satan. No. We could save people along the way. We can minimize this torturous, this tough existence. We can make it more blissful and more of the needless suffering that's happening. And I have faith that God will be perfect with His judgment on all of us. I just want to stop the evil actors from causing more heartache We could let judge do the ultimate judgment. But just to help those that are suffering. Well, that didn't quite go as smooth as I had hoped today. I'm a little worn down, run down, lots going on, and it's already getting late. So I'm just going to end this. I'm not sure when I will upload it. But guys, thank you so much. I hope that a muzzle chat is effectively igniting, sparking some motivation, helping us all. I mean, they're coming after our health because they know, just like that other one, we need to go back to it, how we're controlled. We can't afford to live in despair and fear. The only healthy fear there is God himself. I know we can save so many, not just mortally, but spiritually. More importantly, spiritually. Guys, thank you for your support. God bless you all. Look forward to chatting again soon. Take care.